eye-opening look at the women of ISIS. You've spent a lot of time covering ISIS over the years, but this is a new look.
This is a new look. A lot of people think of the women of ISIS, if they think about them at all, as people who were perhaps forced into the organization, or they were brought to the ISIS caliphate by their husbands, the so-called jihadi brides. We have an hour coming up on ISIS and the rise and fall of this organization. And one of the big things we looked at was the role of women. And the same way in a lot of families and a lot of societies, in ISIS as well, it was the women that held this group together. It was the women that made some of its worst crimes possible. And we met a lot of the women, we met a lot of ISIS supporters who have been herded together in this refugee camp in Northern Syria. And when we went there, we learned some pretty extraordinary things.
The Al-Hol camp in Syria is home to around 70,000 people. The families of ISIS fighters are kept here until their home countries figure out what to do with them. But their governments don't want them back, so they languish here, poorly guarded, with nothing to do.
Where are you from?
From Russia.
From Russia.
I came to the Al-Hol camp to find out if ISIS still poses a threat, and to learn more about the women of the world's most brutal terrorist group. I heard a young woman was at the camp who said she was American.
I'm Richard Engel from NBC.
Yeah.
Hoda Muthanna was raised in Alabama, the daughter of a diplomat from Yemen.
I'm just as American as any blonde hair, blue-eyed girl, and I would like to stay in my country and do American things.
Instead, age 20, she left her comfortable, even privileged life in the U.S. to join ISIS. She was an ardent believer and used her Twitter account to incite Americans to commit murder.
There's one tweet in particular where you talk about calling on Americans to do drive-by shootings, to rent a truck and drive over people, spilling their blood. And you say, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, go out and do it.
Again, my lawyer told me not to speak about these things.
She now claims she is filled with remorse, but she was literally wedded to the cause.
So you were married 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
And 2 were killed, and 1...
Divorced, yeah.
Divorced. And how were these men killed?
On the battlefield.
Did you ever get any military training?
Women didn't really have a role there other than being a housewife.
That's just not true. ISIS had a women-only brigade of enforcers called the Hansa Brigade. In a safe house in southern Turkey, I met 3 of them and asked a woman named Dua what her role was. We were a female police force, she said. We would tour the markets, take part in raids, and take women who were violating the dress code to our headquarters for punishment. What may be even more disturbing is that ISIS women allowed their own children to be turned into murderers. The so-called ISIS cubs were isolated, indoctrinated, and given military training. They went from playing soldiers to being soldiers. In the camp, signs that indoctrination hasn't gone away. The children here recently made an ISIS flag, flew it, and chanted that ISIS lives on.
Richard, you had some incredible access, wondering how that came to be.
So, unfortunately, there are still tens of thousands of ISIS supporters who are in that camp that I went to. They are loosely guarded. They have nothing to do. If you go there, you can meet them. They're starting to get restless. They want to organize. And just a few days ago, the leader of ISIS, who is in hiding, he's trying to make himself a little bit of the new Osama bin Laden figure. He was calling on his supporters. The Pentagon estimates there are about 18,000 or upwards of 18,000 ISIS members still at large. Those who are not even in that camp, those are others. To liberate the camp, they want to reform the group. So ISIS is definitely trying to make a comeback.
Chief Foreign Correspondent.